Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. A wonderful day to all of you. Welcome to the Institute of Global Professionals. Thank you for joining us to this another live session of free international webinar here in 90p. My lovely audience, I am Marbeth from the Philippines, and I am honored to be your host of the day. I'm so glad to be with you once again in this virtual event. If there's a thing that we should be thankful about during the pandemic period is that this opportunity that it provides for us to gather virtually through an international free webinar brought to us by the Institute of Global Professionals. I hope that everyone will stay with us until the end of the program because we have a lot of things in store for you today. Here in IGP webinars, you will not just listen to our speakers, but we encourage your participation in our Q&A part of the program. And also, there will be questions that will be pop up on your screen. This will keep you engaged all throughout the webinars. And also, during our live event, I think my battery is running low, so I have to charge, forgive me, but I have to charge my cell phone, my laptop. Give me a few minutes to charge my laptop. Sorry for that interruption. Sir Kamrul, could you please switch my... Hello, thank you for that, Sir Kamrul. Thank you for being so alert and attentive. Okay, just like what I am saying, today we have two wonderful speakers. One is from United States and the other one is from Mexico. Okay, during our live program, we award certificate of lifetime membership to the most active and most consistent participants. So what are you waiting for? All you have to do is to please click the share button below. And then share this live event to your friends and to your community. Can you do that? Okay, please share this live event. Let's click the share button below at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, did you share it? Did you do it? Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Okay. And then for today, we have two brilliant speakers, just like what I'm saying. I'm sorry. One is a life coach speaker. But before that, let me just read some comments and greet some of our participants. Okay, Sir Alan Butas is with us today. He is one of our IGP CSR team member. Thank you, Sir Alan Butas, for assisting us in the comment section. And then we also have Camela Bihaen. Hello, Ma'am Camela. And then we have Sheila Umpire. Today, we have Karuvaki. Hello, Karuvaki. This is a new name for me. And then we have Gemma Benalada today. Romel Bello is with us. And also Nella Ruiz Zoc. We have so many participants today. Thank you so much for joining. Kindly click the share button below and share this live event in your newsfeed. Hello to Mom Evelyn Perry and also to Janice Abrazaldo. Hello to everyone. Good evening to all of you. Okay, today I am presenting to you webinar number 826, and we have two speakers. One is from United States and the other one is from Mexico. Without further ado, let me call our speakers now. Our speaker, one of our regular speaker is a life and spiritual and conscious parenting coach. She is an international keynote speaker. Let's welcome Mom Val Alino.
Thank you so much for this introduction, Mary Beth. I'm so excited to be here with all of you in at least this beautiful morning. I know it's evening for most of you or night, depending on where you are in the world, but super excited to be here on this day with all of you one more time with a very, very special guest.
Yes, and we're so happy to have you once again here, Ma'am Val. And we are so excited to hear from you again once again.
Thank you.
Okay, shall we call on who's going to introduce our next speaker?
Well, you have his bio, but I do want to tell everyone here how this is our talk about leadership today. I want to tell you what Michael did that I thought was incredible to bring out his leadership skills and mine. We did not meet. We don't know each other. And I'm pretty new to LinkedIn. So we're definitely going to be talking about the power of LinkedIn here. And I was very shy. I'm still kind of shy about it. And, I started posting from my heart, as you all know my work, and just sharing without really feeling overwhelmed. And I just said, let us just start to build a community. Well, Michael reached out to me. And I was like, well, why is this man reaching out to me? He's, has so many followers. He's so engaged, and I'm new. I mean, nobody knows me here in LinkedIn. And lo and behold, he'll tell you why he reached out, and we have become so great friends without knowing each other. We're forming alliances. We are doing service like we are doing here. See, even the birds are excited about this introduction. So, Mary Beth, you can introduce this beautiful man that I am grateful to share his wisdom, his talent, and his heart with all of you.
And our second speaker is, actually, they will be talking together. Our next speaker is a mentor, a coach, and a speaker, and he is also a writer. Let's welcome with virtual round of applause, Sir Michael Mintz.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Thank you. I appreciate that, Mary Beth.
We're so happy to have you here for the first time in IGP, and we look forward to have you to hear more from you here in IGP.
I'm happy to come back anytime you want me to. Yes, thank you.
That's great to hear. Well, I think the virtual floor is yours now. So take it away. Who's going to start first?
Oh, I'm gonna defer to Val. I'm gonna let her get us started. Ladies first.
Okay, so we are just so excited. Thank you, Mary Beth, for that introduction. Thank you to Kamrul in the background. He always does an amazing job. And to all of you who are showing up today for you to become that leader that you're seeking within you, we congratulate you, commend you, and welcome, because it is like people like you that are taking these actions, doing something new in your life, different, that will expand your wings, bring you more knowledge. And this is what it all is about. So my friend Michael and I will be co-teaching this. So we have no form, and this is part of what being a leader is. You can have an agenda, an idea, but always allow yourself to flow, to see where you are in alignment that particular day, moment, millisecond that you are, whether you are in front of a friend, in front of a potential coworker, in front of a potential person that could be doing alliances with you, or somebody that you might be willing or wanting to create a business with. So whatever it is, just be fully present, let go of form, let go of any attachment of any outcome. And that is the first advice from the heart that I want to tell you, because you can have these goals and you can go after them. But what if you don't have to go after them? They're already within you. And by the way that you are presenting yourself whole, complete, positive, ready to embrace every opportunity, you don't have to run after anything. Everything comes to you. What do you think about that, Michael?
Oh, I agree completely. It's actually kind of a description of how we met in the first place. I don't wait for things to come to me. You mentioned it earlier, and I like connecting myself with, I like partnering with, I like becoming friends with people who are passionate about what they do, but number two, that are more interested in people than they are themselves. And, I've told you that I saw you, I actually kind of saw some of the things you were doing in the Philippines and different things. But what I saw, what struck me most, what stood out to me was the way the people that you were talking to, the look on their faces and how they were receiving what you were talking. I find that I talk to a lot of people that, they like to talk about themselves. Okay. They're their favorite subject, but it was very obvious in the faces of the people. And I looked at 4 or 5 different places that you had been, and you had pictures of the crowd, right? And the picture of the face of the people you were talking to was one that says, wow, this lady, she cares about us. We're important to her. And I love partnering with people who care about people, because we're talking about leadership today, and leadership is all about helping others. Leadership is about taking people from here to here, right? And unless they want to go with you, that doesn't happen. And people want to go with someone who they believe cares more about them than they do themselves. So this is why you and I are partners. This is why I'm getting to know you. This is why I look for any opportunity to share the stage with you, right?
Thank you, my love. And I feel the same way, because that is exactly what I engaged with you, the way people responded to you, and what kind of people were coming, how they were commenting. So to the point of our introduction, for everyone that is here, we want to share with you that it is this work to be a leader from the heart. You do not need to, marketing and all of that, yes, it's got its little tricks, but to be honest, you really don't have to do much when you're fully being present and speaking from the heart. And before we start, Michael, I always like to ask, because we have a very diverse audience, and I know all these comments will be in the Facebook of Global Professional Institute, that we do actually encourage every single one of you to like, comment, and share away, because this wisdom that you are receiving now, it takes one click for many others to receive it. But we want to know where you are from. Right. So in the chat that I pray I can see, and if not, maybe Michael through the Facebook, let us know where you are from. I'm originally from Mexico City, and I just happen to be in Mexico right now, but I travel so much. I don't have a base. If you've taken my trainings before, I've been traveling for 2.5 years. Actually, now it's almost 3, and just going where I need to be, going where I could be of service, going where I am led to spread my truth, my heart. We're going where I can learn from others, going where I can grow and expand. And Michael, tell them a little bit of where you are.
I'm in Dallas, Texas. In the southern part of the United States. It's the warmer part of the United States, right? In fact, during the summer, we had over 60 days of 100 plus degree weather. So, you have to be willing to be hot to live in Dallas, Texas, right? And so I just wanted to jump out there and say that I know we're going to be talking about leadership, and you mentioned this. And it's incredibly important, if you're going into leadership, if you're in leadership, that you stop and listen today. And here's what the takeaway should be overall for you today. That if you're not changing people's lives, okay, if you're not engaged in changing people's lives, then your leadership is not going to go where you want it to go. Okay, there, and I know there's a comfort zone for most leaders. Okay, there's a comfort zone in that, I just want people to I just want people to like me, right?
Mhm.
Okay, but leadership is first and foremost, it's about making the people around you better. Okay, so um, I wanted to get that in there. I know I'm supposed to talk about who I am. And I've been married for 45 years. I have four amazing children. I have four grandchildren, and they actually are my first priority. Okay. My work comes second. I'm the VP of sales at a company called Grand Homes in Dallas, Texas. And then my other job is I'm an executive and life coach for entrepreneurs and executives. So, and I love every second of that as well. So, sorry, I got off track there just a little bit. Sorry.
No, it's perfect. This is important so we can share all that we are doing here. So there is so much to share about leadership, inspirational leadership. I call it conscious leadership.
Mhm.
Whatever you want to call it, it's about being present, showing up,
Mhm.
connecting first with your heart, so that you
Right.
can bring all that you need to bring into your life to keep on growing. And one of the aspects that I really want to command all our audience and students to remember the importance of it is go the extra mile.
Mm.
Go the extra mile. Be willing to give so much more than you can even think you have inside of you. And I just want
Yeah.
to say a really, really short story that happened to me, and it brought me so much love, so much growth, so much expansion. I believe that many of you know that I have a very passionate heart for Montessori education, and my leader of all US, AMI USA, which is the Association Montessori International in Rochester, New York. Her name is Virginia McHugh. She no longer is the president, but I looked at her like, oh my gosh, this lady. And so I would go to these conferences that had, 2,000 plus participants, and I would look at the way she posed herself, how she interacted, her
Mhm.
knowledge. And I was like, I need to get close to this lady. I want it all. I want to share. And I
Mhm.
looked at her back then, many, many years back, like some sort of like goddess that I just needed
Right.
to share.
Right.
And I had choices. I
Mhm.
could have said, well, I'm never going to get near her. She's never going to look at me. I mean, why would she recognize me? She doesn't know me.
Right.
B, let my fears take over and not do anything to change that reality. So, as a
Mhm.
Montessorian, one of the skill sets that I invite many people, all leaders that are now or leaders to be, we're all leaders anyway. So it's not
Right.
like leaders to be. We're just taking out the leadership inside.
Right.
I just took action, and when one day in one of these break sessions, I saw that the lady who was representing her selling books and all of that
Mhm.
was needing extra hands. And of course, I wasn't part of the staff. I don't know anything about what they're selling. And I just said, I looked at the need from my heart, and I
Right.
jumped in and I said, let me please help you. My name is Val. But
Mhm.
I'm not watching that she's watching, but she happened to notice that act. And I did
Right.
it selflessly. And
Right.
guys, I want to tell you that I have built a relationship with her, that I traveled
Mhm.
to Italy for the 100-year anniversary. I was the liaison on-site coordinator for the next 6 conferences. Things
Mhm.
happen when you take action. So the
Right.
question here is, what are you doing on a daily basis to take action, to learn from those that inspire you? And this is such a strong topic, Michael. What do
Right.
you
You said exactly what I say, but just with different words. I call it the leadership comfort zone, right? What you did is you stepped out of your comfort zone. You went up and you started engaging and helping, right? Helping them do their thing. And it made a connection that changed the rest of your life. when you decide to lead, okay, you're also making a decision to stand up and step out of your comfort zone, because leadership requires you, right? It requires you to step up and step out of your comfort zone. And some of those things are going to be challenging. Some of them might be difficult. But until you do as a leader, you don't learn and grow. That's why stepping out of your comfort zone is so amazing, because it's an opportunity to learn and grow to the next level, right? I'm sure that because of what you did there, and your acquaintance and then friendship with her, your life has grown exponentially, right? So we don't change our business, our leadership, where we are and where we want to go. Nothing changes as long as we stay in that safe place, right? There's nothing good about staying in a safe place when it comes to leadership. In fact, I would say that leadership is an unsafe place, because the leader is always having to go out ahead of everybody. You're having to clear a path so that everyone coming behind you, right there, it's been cleared the way. But what a great boss we have. He continues to clear the way. What a great manager we have. She continues to make sure that there are no obstacles standing between us and success as a team. That's amazing leadership, though.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking about obstacles, Michael, I know we talked a little bit behind the scenes, but everyone here, I mean, I want to share with you that no obstacle can allow you to fulfill what you want. And
Yeah.
I just want to tell you guys, for me to be here is a miracle. I haven't had power for 2 days. I had no idea how I was going to make this happen. That's why I don't have my background. That's why I don't have lighting. I'm getting beaten by mosquitoes, and I would not take no for an answer. I know my battery is consuming. I don't have an outlet, but I am here because I love each one of you, because I believe in each one of your hearts, because by being here, it tells me how much you want to thrive. And that itself is my high to serve you. Because while serving you, I serve myself, because you allow me to live my highest high and my purpose. And for that, I bless everyone on this day. So please, no excuses in the way. Everything is possible. If it's an obstacle, even more than not having power, but getting beaten by mosquitoes. Kamrul was worried about my breakfast. I said, breakfast? No, this is all I forget about breakfast. We will
Right.
figure that out later. So what had in the past been your obstacle that has not allowed you,
Right.
or that you haven't allowed? Watch that language, that you haven't allowed yourself to actually see that obstacle as an opportunity to gain more strength, to be able to be the leader within you.
Right. I will tell you that at the age of 40 years old, I was very frustrated as a leader and manager. I was a low level manager. And I was frustrated because I'd never had the success that I thought I deserved, right? I thought that I should have been a whole lot further along in my leadership skills and in my leadership, prowess, where I should be. And in about that time, someone introduced me to a mentor, to a coach, which is why I coach today. Okay. And he told me, Mike, he says, the reason that you're struggling as a leader is because, he says, the reason that you're doing it, your purpose in becoming a leader is wrong. I said, okay. He says, let me explain this to you. He says, your reasoning for becoming a leader, your reasoning for want to be in leadership is for you. It's so that you can make more money, so that you can have a better position. So there's all you. And he says, and until such time as your leadership becomes about the people that you're going to be leading, he says, until you start changing the lives around, the lives of the people around you, then he says, then you're never going to go where you want to go. That's when I truly understood Zig Ziglar's statement that in order to be successful in life, you simply just need to help everyone around you be successful first. And then your success as a leader grows exponentially from there. Okay. There's never been a greater time in the world to be a leader, ever. Okay. Every business genre out there is screaming for great leadership, because there's a lack of great leadership everywhere I look. So if you ever want to say, hey, I want to be somebody, I want to be a leader, well, you know what? Now's the time to step up and step into that role, but make sure you're stepping into that role to help people, not to help yourself. The good news is, as you help people, things happen for you as well.
Absolutely. I love that statement. I love that statement. And you know what? What I'm hearing right now, well, I'm just vibrating really high to share that those voices that were inside of you listening to
Mm-hmm.
this,
Mm-hmm.
quiet them down, because everybody has that leader within.
Sure.
So many times you and I have experienced people that are like, oh, well, I'm just too quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to be around people. They've told me I'm not a good leader. I like to be more behind the scenes. I just feel better being in the background.
Right.
Let no voice, no person, no spirit, no one tell you that you can't be that leader for you and
Mm-hmm.
for millions and billions and people. Because what happens is when you start doing that inner work and you start really living your own truth and
Mm-hmm.
understanding that we latched onto those ideas of others because we were in lack and fear,
Mm-hmm.
then your true self comes out. And
Right.
once you start living the juice of leadership, exactly what you're saying, Michael, like inspiring others, and people are really vibrating with your heart and feeling your heartbeat and creating amazing things based on this synergy,
Mm-hmm.
then you start to even observe that new skills are arising, that
Right.
you are mastering a total new life that is bringing so much contribution to you and to everyone around you.
Right. Agreed. I it's like you're speaking my speech, or it's like you're using my words over here, okay? Because everyone asks me, well, how will I learn to be a great leader? I go, listen, just stay open to the fact that you need to learn and grow as a leader. If you just stay open to the possibility that you need to learn and grow, situations will occur in your leadership that you will have to learn and grow. You won't have a choice. As you lead, your leadership skills have to come and go with you. Because if you don't, right, if you don't go with it, then you just all of a sudden you found a new plateau to stay at. Okay. I find that people, it's like, it's like becoming a parent. Okay. If you believe that becoming a parent isn't going to require you to learn and grow and become somebody new and better, you're sadly mistaken. And where's the book on parenting? There's no great book out there. No, it's a book that you have to jump in and you have to learn and grow as you go. But because you love your children so much, because you love your family so much, you're willing to learn those lessons as you go, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And while there are now great parenting books, because that's my field as well, I have to agree with you that your own experience and the book doesn't know what you've been through and what the
Right.
experiences you are living. So you definitely have to, tap into your own story.
Mhm.
And as we are here moving along, I do want to commend and thank all the people that are joining us on the site, because I see people from Philippines, from Kenya. They're acknowledging everything that we are saying. So I appreciate the vibration of collaboration, and that way we can grow more together. So that we will have questions at the end. So hold on those questions and we'll answer each one of them. Another aspect, Michael, that I love it in leadership, to break the myth of it is, at least for my business, when I had my school in US, the Montessori school, for over a decade,
Mhm.
I did the math wrong, or the everything outside the book. Usually
Mhm.
you want to get a business and see your competition and,
Mhm.
assess, and which I'm not saying you don't do. I'm
Right.
just telling you what worked for me. Okay. I fell in love with the place. I asked my heart, I asked God, and I just said, this is it. Now I arrive, and lo and behold, there is 8 Montessori school within my 8-mile radius. And I never, ever went into like lack, fear, panic. Oh my God, what have I done?
Mhm.
Never. Do you know? May I share what was my mindset there?
Uh-huh.
How can I build a tribe and alliance with my neighbors and friends that have the same passion and mission to bring Montessori education to the world? I
Right.
never for one said they are my competitors.
Right.
Connect with your neighbors, connect with those companies that are your neighbors, create alliances. And when I looked, then I Googled a little deeper and I learned that Atlanta, Georgia, has the number one state that has the most Montessori schools in the world. I'm like, oh my God. So what have I done?
So
No,
much for location, location, location.
I didn't say, what have I done? I said,
Yeah.
what can we do? And
Yes.
so I started calling Michael. I started calling on the phone. Hi, my name is Val. I'm the new director and owner of Decatur Montessori School. And I, want to introduce myself and see if we can get together and create alliances and help each other. Okay, people looked at me like I thought I was from Mars.
Yes.
From Mars. And then
Yes.
I went as far as doing these social events, which they were social, but people were like, wait, what's the agenda? And I said, no, there's no agenda. I just want to get it to know each other because
I just want
that
to meet
way
people. Yeah.
I just want to get to know you. So to see if how great leaders connected with one
Right.
mission, what we can
Right.
create. And long story short, it has been amazing. We created the first Montessori Institute of Atlanta. We created MAG, Montessori Administrators of Georgia, that
Mhm.
anything that happened is like a whole place where all administrators would answer and
Right.
so forth. So this was my experience. And I want to
Mhm.
ask you watching, what were your limited beliefs about like all this research and thinking that the competitors, you are unique.
Right.
You bring an extra light. Do you want to know? I'll tell you, I'll go deeper in this story. When parents came to see me at the school for a tour, of course, I would grace them with that. And I would be so grateful that they came. And I went as far as said, I'm so grateful that you're here. I would like you to visit at least three of my neighbor schools. And they'd look at me like, no, I chose your school. I want to sign up now. I said, that's an honor to me. However, I would like to ask you to please go visit at least three more and come back.
Mhm.
And the reason being, I knew what school we had. I knew what we had to offer. And
Right.
I also believe that there is a school for every child and every parent. And
Right.
those that were here with me would come back and we
Mhm.
would create a family.
Mhm.
So, to the point of the leadership class today, is just be an authentic
Yes.
leader. Be a
Right.
congruent leader, that what you think, say, and do are in alignment. And
Right.
people will see that and will buy from you and will come back to be with your heart, the energy, and the people that you are attracting and the community that you're building, because it's not you're building it, it's you co-creating a community based on those that are coming in the same time and place as you. So I don't know if you've ever experienced it, what your thoughts are around that.
Well, what you're talking about a lot is the scarcity mindset that there's not enough for everybody. You set up, in an area where there are already 8 schools, and so now there's not enough students to go around. And I found that scarcity mindset never helps me do anything. It's never helped me accomplish anything. And also on the backside of that, I would also say that you had probably what I believe is the greatest skill, the most important skill a leader has, and that's a vision. Okay, you had a clear vision of who you were and where you wanted to go. And look, guys, I want you out there to know that you can't take people, okay, somewhere where you don't know where you're going. Okay, you have to have a clear insight in your head. You have to have a clear picture of the destination, right? What it looks, and I don't mean physical destination. I mean, what is it you want to accomplish? Who do you want to become? What are the goals that you want to set and achieve for your team? Because until you, the leader, have a very, very clear vision, a very clear picture of what that is, then you won't be able to tell the group what that is. Okay. In fact, I find that in most of the leaders I meet and talk to, and I get the opportunity to coach a lot of them, the first thing I ask them is say, hey, tell me about your vision. And I get this kind of blank stare back. They go, my what? I go, your vision. What is your vision for your leadership, for your team? Where do you want to go? And unfortunately, they tell you, I don't know that I have one of those. I go, well, then there's no wonder why then you're struggling as a leader, because all you're doing is showing up every day and just solving the obstacles of the day. But that's not leadership. Okay. Leadership is 5 years from now, guys, you're looking at your group of people and say, listen, 5 years from now, we're going from here and we're going to here. And let me tell you why this is going to be good for you, for me, and for every one of our customers. And everybody gets on board and gets excited about your vision. And now, because you have a destination and you're passionate about it, right? They want to come go with you. And now they're jumping through hoops to make sure that this is successful, because everyone has bought into the vision, right? Just like I'm sure the people that worked at your school did, because you had an amazing vision.
Absolutely. I love what you're contributing to all of us right now. Thank you. And, I always say your success and abundance actually will come as a consequence of a couple of things. Let's see if you can add to this list. But of course, one is the passion of your actions.
Yes.
The passion of your actions. Then the other one is your healthy relationships. Yeah. And it's very important who you have around to is inspired, to aspire, to grow with, and the greatness of your spiritual leadership. So these are very important factors to be able to be living in that abundance and success. And people might be like, spiritual leadership, like, what are you talking about? And it's just being empathetic, present, thinking about the other, going that extra mile to create a family. I never called even my people like staff members. They were like family members.
Right.
They were my employees. We had full trust. There was so much caring and sharing. And my problem was, get out of the school, go. I didn't have a clock-in system to get them to come in, because they would come early and leave late.
Right.
But this is all based on this spiritual leadership of just, perhaps coming in a little early and have that time to say, good morning, Michael. How are you today? I see and I feel that your spirit is a little off. Is there anything going on that I could be of service to you that you would like to share with me? These little things goes such a long way, but yet we forget, because everyone is rushing. Everyone is looking down. We're not looking at people's eyes. We're not feeling people's frequency.
Right.
And this needs to change.
I agree. It's amazing. This old adage, everyone's heard, that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay. And that's an older adage, but the truth is nothing's been more truer in today's world than that ever before. Okay. I'm amazed that I tell people this every day, and I coach leaders. Okay. And then I have a staff of leaders who then coach a staff of 52 salespeople. And caring for people, kindness. Okay. I'm just going to boil it all the way down to kindness. As far as I'm concerned, is probably in the top 2 leadership skills you're ever going to have in your life. Because until you can stop and be kind to people, until you can stop and care for people, then your leadership really kind of gets lost with everything else. Okay. And post-COVID, life has really changed for people. And people are looking for far more genuine, as you said, genuine and authentic leadership. In other words, it's more important to them how much you care about them than how much you pay them. Okay. So never before has being inspirational, has being motivational, has being the kind of leader who's genuine and authentic. I don't believe ever in the history of leadership has it been more important than it is today.
Absolutely. I totally agree on that. And, one of the aspects that we also want to encourage is that with this traveling in your path of leadership, how important it is, Michael, to be connecting with your own inner wisdom. We
Mhm.
can read all the books, we can go to all the seminars, but there is so much wisdom that everybody watching here now or later, will understand that you are brilliant and you have beautiful ideas, and that inner voice that tells you, yes, go do it, and no, this doesn't feel right at what they're telling. Be very genuine to stick to that, because very rarely is wrong. And actually, the slogan of my company is trust your journey.
Mhm.
Just trust it, the good and the bad, although we know there's no good and bad, depending on the lens that you are looking at it.
Right.
Just trust it. Trust that obstacle that happened. Trust that person who is saying, no, you're not capable, it's risky, it's pandemia, do not invest, you're going to be, where I am now, everybody told me, do not go there, do not buy there, do not. And that's exactly where I went, because everything in my spirit said, yes, Val, do it. And I had that brilliance and that, to quiet my mind, center
Mhm.
myself through prayer and meditation, and ask my inner wisdom and source, whatever source means to you. And I got a yes. I got a hell yes.
Good.
And this is so important. You agree?
I do. I think, you know, and and I am into the science of leadership. Okay, trust me. I'm a true scientist when it comes to leadership. I've been studying leadership for 20 years. Okay, but the truth is there's an art and a science to leadership. Okay, and if you simply focus on the science part of leadership, okay, the formula driven part of leadership, then what you do is you leave the important part behind, and that's the people. Okay, until such time as you learn how to talk to people, as you learn how to love people, as you learn how to care for people, as you learn how to invest in people, okay, you're never going to be successful as a leader, because leadership is caring for people. Okay, and and I'm trying to go back to the statement that you made. I'm trying to remember that all of us. I get this every day, Mike. I'm not a leader. You just don't. You just don't understand. I'm not a leader. You don't know where I've been, so you just don't know that I'm not a leader. And I go, you know what? Here's what I found. Leadership has everything to do with who you care about. Okay. And they say, isn't it what you care about? I go, no, it's who you care about. Because listen to leadership is not about what you do or how you do it. Leadership is about whose. Okay. Because leaders never accomplish anything without who am I going to get to do this? Who am I going to get to do this? Who can I hand this off to? It's all about whose. And the better whose you've surrounded yourself with, the better leader you're going to be. The better you are at encouraging and lifting up, right? And motivating the whose, there's nothing you won't be able to do as a leader. Leadership is about whose, about people's.
I love that. I love that. We'll have to do a t-shirt. Leadership is about the who's.
Yes.
I love that. And part of all this, when somebody says, well, I'm not a leader, let's talk a little bit about the NLP, the neuro linguistic program, right? Those programs that I'm going to talk in past tense, not to bring it more, that you were embedding in yourself, like your thought process, your mindset. Is it in scarcity or is it in abundance?
Right.
Because everything that you think and say becomes a reality. It is
Right.
crazy. I've shared in some occasions here with this beautiful organization that, if I was able to walk on fire and be lifted by a metal, like a metal here on my neck and my ankles, and just sustain myself by telling myself, going into this meditation through the trainer that was doing that to me with a double back surgery. What are we not able to do? We are capable to bring about everything. And, I just came back from this world tour, and I'm working with some teachers and leaders in Kenya and Nigeria. And all I keep on hearing, and I understand that the economy and the poverty is in some of the people that might be watching, and in Mexico, we're a third world country, and I see it. But I
Right.
also see that we can't label we are poor, my country is in lack, or I have friends that work in Peru and they're like, you never get paid on time, they don't pay you what you're worth. I mean, how are you expecting to become that leader within and
Right.
bring abundance in your life if this is what you're repeating 24/7? It's like you're
Yes.
tattooing it. It's like you're putting color ink in your
Mhm.
system that is
Yes.
telling you this. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts about that, Michael?
Well, my mindset, is that unfortunately for most leaders, life is happening to them, not for them. Okay. And I've learned that the greatest thing I ever learned, okay, and this is NLP, this is words, because to me, words are incredibly important, right? To me, my mantra every day I wake up, and the thing I'm saying to myself is, look, everything that happens today is happening for me. Whether it be good or whether it be bad, whether I receive it as good or bad, it doesn't matter. If it's good, it's moving me forward. It's helping me achieve. It's helping me help a few more people get where they want to go. Okay. If it was bad, quote, bad, right, which it really isn't, then it's something that I learn and grow from. Okay. And I found in my life that I learned very little, if anything, from my successes. Okay. I've learned everything I know from my failures. And that's why leadership is about not being afraid to step out of your comfort zone and fail. Listen to me. I'm going to tell you a secret. You're going to fail as a leader over and over and over. And the quicker you can get your head around the fact that you're going to fail and your team is going to fail, here's what's important. What is going to be your response to that failure? That's what your people are waiting to see. Oh, what is he going to do? What is she going to do when we don't make it, when we don't get there? What's going to be their next statement? How are they going to handle it? Are they just going to say, all of you are fired, all of you can't work here anymore, you made me fail? Or are you know what, you're going to take one for the team? Guys, that one's on me, that's on me, I didn't see that coming, so here's what we're going to do: this, and this, and we're going to be way more prepared next time. Okay, that's how you learn and grow. That's how leadership occurs. Those are the kind of people, that's the kind of leadership that people want to get behind and want to work for.
Absolutely. Amen to that. I love it. No, we're in the highest. We're seeking almost the end. I do want to commend and thank all the hearts and comments that we are getting. People are echoing what we're saying. Mary Vick says, it is true. You must have a good goal, a goal to succeed. That's the motivation we need. Yes, trust yourself that you can be a good leader. We have so many comments here, and we do appreciate good leader is a role. Anna May says, Anna Lynn says, that was an inspirational message, Sir Michael. I love how they call Sir Michael and ma'am. You guys are amazing. I do want to head on towards the last part of it, which is, let's wrap it up with something very important, Michael, that, that dance, that balancing act between the heart and the mind, right? People say, no, 50-50. And there's all these statistics of how the balancing act of the brain and the heart. Look, you make it your own. I'm going to tell you that for me, I go straight to the heart first. So, and it's worked like a charm. But there are all kinds of wisdoms around this. What is your thought? What percentage? What are your thoughts between that balancing act between
I'm probably right on the 50-50 mark. I will tell you that in decision making, I lean more towards what's good for my people than what's good for the pocketbook, what's good for the money. I've learned that in life and in business, right? If my decision making is based on what's good for people and not what's good for the pocket, but what's good for the net income, then I make much better decisions. I will tell you that decision making in general is probably one of the bigger issues that faces leaders. How to make decisions. Okay. What's the best way to make decisions? Do I make decisions for people, or do I make decisions for bottom line? Right. And here's what I'm going to tell you. The more you know exactly where you're going, okay, the more you've nailed down what the future looks like, it's far easier to make decisions, whether it's people or anything else. When you're faced with a decision and you know exactly where you're going, you simply ask yourself, is this decision going to move me towards where I'm going, or is it going to move me away from where I'm going? Okay.
Absolutely.
Like I use it when I'm talking to people. Okay. And I've had people on my team that, look, they weren't going where we were going as a team. They didn't want to come go. And when it came time to make that decision, that was fairly easy to make because they weren't working to help make sure the team was heading the direction of the vision, direction of the plan. And that was a fairly easy decision. Okay. But everything I do now in life, every decision I make every day, Val, I simply ask myself, is this decision, right? Is it moving me towards my goals? Is it moving me towards my vision, but towards my plan? Or is it going to move me away from it? Because it's either yes or no. There's never been in the middle. I don't really know if this is moving me one direction.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely one way or the other. That's kind of my greatest advice I can give you today.
Absolutely. And it's going back to that inner voice, your inner wisdom, right? And and energetically, I actually say, is this light or heavy? And and I actually put my hands out, and I've programmed to my body and my brain that the right is light and the left is heavy, and it just tells me. And there's so many ways you can just know what direction to take. And the last point that I just want to remind everyone, that we cannot be any type of leader or any type of person if we don't self-care and self-love. And I want to share with you my new self-love ritual that I learned from one of these spiritual thinkers. And I wake up in the morning, I always went straight into gratitude from my bed before stepping out. But the first thing I do before that, I say, Val, to myself, good morning, I love you. And that simple act of love has shifted so much. I want everyone watching here and all the people that you have around you to share with them how important it is to actually do this act of love. And actually, when I asked my heart, who needs to hear this? And I have one particular person, friend. And so every morning I have decided to text her, good morning, Marta, I love you. Wow. And she has gifted me so much love from what has shifted in her persona just by hearing this from me, and now is embedding this in her own system. So what are you doing? What are we doing as a human species to elevate the frequency of love by starting to love within ourselves and then love somebody else? So simple as that. Self-love and self-care, or self-care, self-love, mindfulness. That's a different talk that we can have, but I just wanted to remind everyone the importance of that.
Okay. I had a serious transformation in my life at 40. And what I learned at 40 that radically changed both my life and my business and my success life and my leadership skills was learning to love myself. Okay. And that sounds so trivial. It sounds so like what? And, I was 40 years old and I literally did not have the skills to love myself. In fact, there was some loathing there. There was some, I didn't like anything about me. And it was amazing how I found the right leader, the right mentor, the right coach. And she taught me how to fall in love with me, how to love myself. And it's amazing, Val, how once I began to understand that, and how once I began to add that to my life, how radically my relationships changed, how radically my family life changed, how radically my marriage life changed. And then more importantly to this conversation, how radically it changed my relationship with the people that worked for me. Because now I treated people completely different because I was coming from a place where I loved myself, right? And so you may have heard this, that if you need them, you can't lead them, right? If you need them to pour into your life as a leader, if you need them to make you feel loved and cared for, if you need them to tell you how great you are, if you need that, guys, listen, you'll never be able to lead people. Okay, because until you're at a place where you can do that for yourself, where you love yourself in a way that you don't need other people, especially your team, your people, to pour into you, you're never going to be the leader that you want to be.
Absolutely. That is such a great closure. I cannot tell you how strong that ending is. And I also want to share a quote that came out of one of the interviews that I had done somewhere, and he quoted, and now I use it. It's like, you cannot keep your wisdom. That is a disservice to the world.
Right.
Always pass the light.
Right.
So on that note, because I know we've gone over time, I want to bring Mary Beth back, also because my battery is about to die. So I want to be able to bring the questions in. If I get off for a minute, I'll get on from the phone, God willing.
Okay.
But in case something happens, know that I love each one of you, and we are so thankful. Michael, it has been a delight to work with you. We didn't even
You
plan
too, my friend. You
and
too.
this is what happens when
Yes.
true leaders from the heart connect. And now
Yes.
we are inspired to be on stage and talk together,
Yes.
the yin and the yang, the feminine and the masculine. Because
Yes.
you see, guys, we have this synergy that we were able to recognize between thousands of people, because Michael has a lot of people in his LinkedIn, and he saw Val just saying, hi, I love you. And here we are. And this is
Here
the
we are.
beginning, Michael, of so
Right.
many beautiful things we will do together. Thank you, my
Yes.
love. Thank
Agreed.
you to everyone here. Pass on the light. Mary Beth
Yes.
and Rule, come on board before my computer shuts down. To Dr. Caroline Makaka, I honor her. You must get to know this lady, Michael. She is a powerhouse, has shifted humanity, connected countries.
Right.
And I am blessing her on this present moment for all the love that she is bringing and the transformation. And talking about a conscious leader, oh my God, Dr. Caroline Makaka it is. Well, maybe
Okay.
they don't want to end the show, and no one is coming to close the show. So let's see what is happening up on the Facebook. Maybe we can connect with some people or take some questions from there, because part of being a leader is just grabbing.
Yes. Well, I did see one question that came up while you were talking. I was reading the questions. Once somebody asked, "Do you have to have goals in order to be successful?" And I go, "Yeah, they're absolutely necessary." In fact, I'm going to take it a little bit further and saying that they can't just exist in your head either. A goal is not a goal unless it's written down on paper or on a tablet, and it has a date by which it's going to be accomplished. At that point, then it becomes a goal. But I want to encourage you, even if you have goals, go out a little further and create a vision, create a plan for your life 5 years down the road. Then making goals, now you're making goals that are moving you towards that vision and that plan, right?
Absolutely. And there is Mary Beth.
Hello.
Hello, that was actually a magnificent, what
Thank
shall I
you.
say, very spectacular presentation today. And the audience is very active in the comment section below. They are so thankful for the message that you have given us today. We will proceed now to the Q&A part of our program after a short video, so please don't go away, okay? But before that, I would like to remind all the audience, don't forget to like, share this live event in your newsfeed, and also write comments. If you have any queries, please send it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for all of you for being so active today. Please share our live event. Thank you, and let's have a short video now. And dear audience, let me remind you once again, don't forget to like, share, tag your friends in the comment box, and remember that your attachment encourages us to do better so that we can provide you with our best service. Thank you so much for your support. And here is our first question from Annalyn Obias Florante. What is the best advice you can give to someone who's struggling to love themselves? Who would
Wow.
like to answer that?
Yes. Well, first of all, I want to thank Annalene. I hope I'm saying your name right, my love, because we felt so much love from you in the chat. And you've been able to be such a provider of love, and that we feel your presence. That shows us, and you make us feel the amount of love you have within yourself. So, if for whatever reason, in this interesting point of view that you are saying at this present time, that you are not having, or maybe it's not you, I'm saying might be you, maybe it could be a family member or a friend, this is coming back from something that happened in their past. So being able to be in the present, and just by being to by asking, by reaching out to be able to find a solution, that's already a self act of love towards you, my love. So the only thing that it comes up is because we are lacking that from our past. Something happened in your childhood, something that, or in the current situation that you're living, that you are fearful of that. But there is nothing more beautiful than starting within yourself. So, what you would actually just say is what I shared with you in this conference, starting with small act of kindness. Good morning, Val. I love you. And I actually go, I love you. And I kiss myself. And I find ways to be connected that enlighten my heart on that day. And for me, I have the blessing of walking on the beach and honoring and just be in a state of gratitude. When you're in gratitude towards the things that you're doing for yourself, will elevate your spirit, my love. But it's usually an inner work. So that person probably needs a little TLC and with some help from a coach or a professional to be able to lift her heart, or a good friend, my love. But of course, inboxing, if you want deeper source or deeper help, we're always here to serve you. But beautiful question.
Thank you so much, Mom. Would you like to add something, Sir Michael?
Yeah, you know, one of the things I learned early was to love myself the way I loved my children, the way I loved my wife, to show myself the same consideration, to show myself the same emotion, to show myself the same love that I would show for them, I actually deserved. And one of the things my grandmother told me is that you can't dip water out of an empty well. Okay, that was kind of an old adage. Well, what that means is that you can't share with your family, you can't share with others what you don't already have. So if you truly are interested in loving your children, loving your family, then you're going to have to make sure that you're pouring love into your own well, so that you'll be able to dip love out and share it with others, because it's just simply not going to work if you're not giving it to yourself. So
Thank you, Sir Michael. I'm seeing a question here, but it's all about the e-certificate. I will give you the certification process, Sir Boo, after the Q&A part of the program, okay? So do we have more questions from you, audience, my dear audience? Is there any clarification or question or queries that you would like to be answered? Okay, actually, they have so many Thanksgiving notes. Okay, we have here our next question from Nazim SM. Can we consider Ratan Tata as a good leader? Who is Ratan Tata.
yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know that name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pass on that as well. I'm so sorry. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
But I do want to say something. That when you were already when you're asking, is he a good or bad leader? There's some judgment there on who, whatever that leader is. So that's an interesting question that he asked. Is he a good or bad leader?
So it's hard to give answer on that question at the moment since we're not familiar. Next question is from less sad. How how do you respond to criticism at the workplace?
Oh, I love this one. Please. Okay, yes, my battery is in red now. Okay, so D, these are opportunities for us to grow. If we are being triggered by
Mhm.
someone saying their own point of view, it's something for us to work on. The person, there's two ways, right? Sometimes it's definitely something that we can grow, and we are just rejecting that because we might be in ego or in control, or that type of leader that we just don't want to see any other's point of view. So rather than getting upset is being thankful. So for me, when I get critique, I say thank you for so much for sharing this wisdom. If I really believe that it's a shift in consciousness that I can do to become a better person. If I see that that person is in lack, and I'm feeling is in lack, and I just don't want to be rude, and I just want to say something like, thank you for sharing that interesting point of view.
Mhm.
And then you cut the energy and go get yourself a coffee. But the
Mhm.
fact that we stay in lack and respond and get triggered, that is a whole lesson for us.
Right.
So, Michael,
I think criticism has to do with us. Okay, it's how you receive it. I find that a lot of people want to personalize it and consider it a personal attack when someone criticizes us. I've seen criticism as a way to learn and grow. Okay, and when people hurl criticism at you, yes, they're rarely are they hitting the bullseye, but I find that most of the time they're actually hitting the target. And if we just stop and say, you know what, I'm going to take that under advisement. I'm going to kind of think on that and I'll get back to you. Okay. Or I appreciate that criticism. I'm going to see if I can learn and grow from that. And I do. I find that everyone that hurls criticism at you, they may be doing it for a wrong reason, but you can receive it and take and use it for all the right reasons, but just to learn and grow. Right.
absolutely, absolutely. We have here another question.
Yes, we have here another question from El Marie Tumanda. Okay, I'd like to ask Mom Val. Most of the spiritual leaders don't have permanent address and don't have enough time to the family. How do you feel that, Mom? Thanks.
Beautiful question. And what an interesting point of view that you believe that we don't have time for our loved ones. Actually, the time that we invest in our loved ones is very deep because it's not about the amount of time I love, it's about the quantity.
Right.
And I have found so many beautiful ways to be so connected with my loved ones in ways I would have never even dreamed of. When we are there 24/7, the relationships are there. Yes, and I command that and applaud that. But when you're far away, those times of connection are so profound. So break whatever point of view that you might have of what is to be, close to a loved one or not. Allow the universe to show you in which other ways you can reinventing yourself and be sharing your love infinitely, just like we are sharing it with all of you. And the amount of love and admiration that I've had now with my friend Michael that I haven't even seen in my life, and we talk so often, and I know he doesn't feel me far and I don't feel him far, right, Michael?
Right.
So we were able to feel your support, and then of course we take our trips to go that physical aspect. But when God is using you in a
Mm.
wider way, go hug the world, go hug the homeless, go hug the attacker, go spread your wings and comfort as many people as you want. We are not here to just be with our loved ones, with those that are blood related. Release and expand love near and far.
Wow. Good job.
Okay, our next question is very interesting. From Romel Bello, how to handle rejection professionally, whether it's love or career? Who would like to answer that first?
Well, first, I think you have to get your head around the fact that there are going to be many rejections. Okay, I've worked in the sales genre. I've been in sales my entire career, and sales is rejection after rejection after rejection. And I've learned that rejection is a part of life. Okay. Rejection is how you learn and grow. Okay. I remember as a teenage boy that, asking a girl to dance was going to be more about rejection. Okay. But here's what I also learned, that if you wanted to dance, all you had to do is walk over and ask, because none of the other boys were asking. Okay. So it's getting our head around rejection and understanding what it is and what it's not and what its purpose is. Okay. We want to personalize rejection rather than use it for an opportunity to learn and grow. Okay. And it was never meant for you to personalize. Okay. So use it for what it is. It's there to inform you. It's there to help you grow. Okay. And every time you receive a rejection, say, okay, why did that happen? Okay, I'm going to do this different next time. And every time you learn and grow and you do different, and rejection stops happening as often.
And I want to add there that there's always a lesson.
Yeah.
So if that person
Right.
or that job is closing the door, my loves, is for a deeper reason. So the question is, what is it about the situation that I'm not seeing that is for my highest good and the good of others? When you shift that paradigm and you understand the why, that rejection becomes a blessing.
Wow. Very good, Val.
Thank you for that beautiful answer. Our next question is from John Ray de la Torre, actually. Let me read this first. Good evening. My question is, what do you think is the most dangerous trait in a leader's career?
Dangerous trait in a leader's career. What is the most dangerous trait in a leader's career? I think that would probably be a lack of integrity. Okay. Not being able to be authentic and real. Okay. There is no room anymore in leadership for a lack of integrity or lack of authenticity. Okay. If you can't be real, if you can't be open to who you are, and if you can't have the traits of a person who has integrity, you're going to greatly struggle to ever find any kind of success in leadership, because success in leadership is all about who you are as a person. And if it doesn't start underneath the heading of integrity and being honest and being real and being genuine, okay, and truly caring about people, then yeah, being successful is going to be difficult for you.
I'm going to have to completely agree on that one. So we can go to the next question.
Next question is from Flomi Salvicho. Good evening. Why is inspiration important in leadership?
Whoa, that's a beautiful question.
That's a good question.
Well, the fact that you're asking for it is, I want to ask you where that is coming from for you. But it just totally makes sense. Why? What kind of leader do you want to be? What kind of leader do you want to have? If you are not looking up to that leader that is next to you, could be a boss, could be a spiritual teacher, could be your neighbor, it doesn't matter. But the fact that we get inspired, ignited, I think I'm getting frozen.
We can hear you now.
Uh-oh. Okay, good. That you get ignited, you get inspired, that your heart has more beats because you are near this leader, is because he or she is inspiring you to become a better person. So when you have the inspirational leader before you and you're able to tap into it, you will become a better person. And by you becoming a better person and you passing on the light to others, we expand oneness in humanity.
Right. Good answer.
Nice. Okay, we have here a question from a Facebook user. How do a leader influence individuals to buy into an initiative you need to execute?
Well, I think that has everything to do with the purpose. Okay. Because, I talked earlier about, you have to have a vision for where you're going. Okay. And so if your vision for where you're going is for you to make more money, for you to get a raise, for you to get a promotion, you're going to have a hard time getting people to want to buy into that initiative. But if your goal, your vision is for everyone to grow, everyone to move forward, everyone to move up and to achieve, then it's really kind of difficult for people not to want to get on board. Everyone wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Everyone wants to be a part of something that's moving forward, that's moving upward. Okay. And when you can convince and show people that, look, what we're about to do, it's going to be difficult, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be challenging, but we're going to all grow. We're going to become better at what we do and who we are. Then I find very few people that aren't willing to get on board.
Okay, wonderful answer. Next is from Nazim SM again. Sometimes being too kind as a leader triggers back, like even if we delegate work, they take advantage of the kindness and don't work properly. How to handle this?
Okay, I want to start on this one because I love this one. Okay. As a parent, sometimes some of the kindest, most caring things I do are discipline my children. Okay. Discipline has nothing to do with kindness. Kindness has nothing to do with what I'm saying it wrong. Sometimes the kinder thing you can do, okay, is to admonish someone, is to delegate someone to do something that they may or may not want to do. I find that typically the reason that we get triggers, okay, that it has a disadvantage is because we don't like the way they make us feel. Okay. They may say something that we're not okay with. And the truth is, if your motives are pure, if your motives are, where you want to help people, okay, I've never seen kindness, okay, trigger a backfire unless my motives weren't pure, okay, unless what I was wanting to accomplish wasn't real, okay, or genuine. So I haven't had that problem in my leadership, but I think it's because the people buy into the vision and want to come go. So
Absolutely. I'm going to echo that all the way. Kindness always shines, and it's if it's not being received properly, then we have to watch the energy, the vibe, and the words that are coming from that leader to
right.
delegate to their loved one.
Okay, thank you so much for those wonderful answers that you have given our audience. They are so active in the comment section, and we have so many questions today. Thank you so much, Ma'am Val and Sir Michael. Do you have any final words for the audience?
Yes, and I am just right now in full gratitude that I'm at the last little red line and the universe was on our side to deliver with internet that I'm borrowing with no power. And this is the why we do this work. You
Yes.
show up and the universe will be on your side
Yes.
to help you rise and shine in whatever direction you want to take your dreams. Mary Beth, you have been beautiful as always. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank
Have
you.
ruled. Thank you so much. And Michael, I love you so much, my friend. Please take over with your last words and thank you.
Yes.
And God bless everyone.
I'm just going to go out by saying what I say to myself every morning, guys. Listen to me. Life is absolutely happening for you. Okay. And the quicker and the sooner that you can get your head around, the quicker and sooner that you can understand that life is happening for you, not to you, the faster you'll go, the faster you'll move up in your career, the faster you'll obtain the goals that you're wanting to occur. Because as long as life is happening to you, then we're looking for all the reasons why it can't happen. But as soon as we pipe into all the reasons why it is working for us, then we start seeing all the opportunities. Mary Beth, thank you for this opportunity. I greatly appreciate it. You guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you later.
Thank you so much, Sir Michael, and thank you so much, Ma'am Val, for gracing our event today. And we hope to see you all again here in IGP in our upcoming webinars. My dear audience, here is our code for today. That is IGP 3837. Again, our code for today is IGP 3837. And remember that without code, no one is eligible for certificates. With code, you can claim your e-certificate anytime. Without an account on our website, you can visit, but you cannot do anything functional. So therefore, you have to create an account in our website. So take a screenshot of this, or you may take down note IGP 3837. Okay, how do we get? There's a question a while ago on how to get the e-certificate, all you have to do is to go to www.eduigp.com. Then click free webinars. If you are new, you have to create your own account. Then after that, click free webinars and find today's date and today's program name, that is Inspirational Leadership. And then enroll this webinar. You have to enroll. And once you are enrolled, enter the code. After entering the code, click get your certificate. Once you click get your your certificate will be auto downloaded to your device. I hope I have answered the question a while ago. To all to my fellow knowledge seekers, thank you so much for being so active and participative all throughout the webinar. This has been a very rewarding day because of our lively, energetic, and enthusiastic speakers. I would like to thank all of you for attending today's session. Let me thank all of you for being so patient and attentive. Hopefully, you have learned something new today that will be useful in your life. And the beautiful thing about learning is nobody can take it away from you. If you have learned something new or if we have been helpful to you, even just in a little bit, please leave a review on our page and don't forget to like and subscribe to our Facebook page, Facebook group, and YouTube channel. Please spread the information about IGP to your friends and to your colleagues. Don't forget to collect your e-certificate after the session and give a check-in with IGP. You may collect it from our website or through the link mentioned below. Remember, our webinar title is Inspirational Leadership. Thank you so much. Well, that concludes our program for today. To all the IGP Free International Webinar participants, thank you so much for your unwavering support, for your active participation, and for your heartwarming messages. At this point, I would like to thank also and congratulate the whole team IGP for another successful live session. That's all for today. We hope to see you all again in our upcoming webinars. That will be tomorrow. We will have the webinar tomorrow in the morning session. Then also remember that all things work together for good to those who love God and to those who are called according to his purpose. Thank you so much. Stay happy and stay safe. Again, this has been your host, Marbeth from the Philippines, signing off. To God be the glory. Bye.